All right, guys. So I want to share a great technique today that I've been using for the past few months, maybe a few years, even for the time management situation. A lot of people they struggle. They're saying, "Well, I don't have time to, do some great new habits, or do some, workout or study, or read a book, whatever. Basically start implementing great new habits into your life." And the thing I've been doing is actually pretty easy. So what exactly you do is you're gonna take a piece of paper, okay, and you're gonna write down the time you wake up. Let's say Monday through Friday. Of course, it depends on the situation. If you're 9 to 5, or you run your own business, if you work from home, you have to drive from an office, or you have a hybrid schedule where you go to school and then you work, or you have to do two part-time jobs, whatever. But the concept is the same here. So you're gonna take a little piece of paper. You're gonna write down the time you wake up. So let's say you wake up at 6 a.m. You're gonna write it down. Then you're gonna, on top of the paper, on the bottom of the paper, you're gonna write down the time that you go to sleep. Let's say you go to sleep 10 p.m. every single day. Like that's your cool down time. A cool down time. You turn off your TV and you just go to bed. You brush your teeth, whatever. So 10 p.m. is the sleep time. Then you're gonna already count how many hours in a day you are awake. Right, from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's basically 16 hours of time, right? Then you're gonna write down, you know, what time you go to work, for example. So you wake up at 6 a.m. Let's say you go to work, you leave to work at 8 a.m. because you gotta be in your office at your work, station 8:30, for example. So between the time you wake up and the time you go to work, it's 2 hours window, right? Then you're gonna write down what exactly you do during those 2 hours. So let's say I wake up at 6, then I use the bathroom, then I'm gonna make a little breakfast, then I'm gonna scroll social media, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, blah blah. Just write it down, not like in crazy details, but kind of understand what are you busy with during those 2 hours. Let's say then 8:30 you're at work, you work until 4:30. If you have the lunchtime, make that note too. What do you do during that lunchtime, etc., etc. Then you write down what time you get home. So let's say you're done at 5 p.m., for example. You've done at 5 p.m., 5:30 you're home. From 5:30 until 10 p.m., that's 4.5 4.5 hours of time. What do you do during that time? You write it down too. So at 5:30 p.m. I'm home. Then I'm gonna walk my dog, and then I'm gonna 6 p.m. I'm gonna cook my dinner. Then I'm gonna eat the dinner until 7. Then from 7 until 10, I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching Netflix, or I'm studying, etc., etc. This is the way you see how your daily schedule is looking like. This is the way where you start, so that you can start seeing the gaps in the windows of time that you are not really implementing to do good things, right? Let's say from 7 p.m., just an example, until 10 p.m., you're just watching Netflix. You say, well, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, this, that, whatever. Well, I'm not saying that, hey, drop everything and just go work out and, just kill yourself. But you can start small. If you have that 3 hours of free time every single day, Monday through Friday, I'm not even talking about Saturday and Sunday yet, because a lot of people, they're free on Saturday and Sunday. You have whole Saturday, you got whole Sunday, and you can do a lot of cool things during those 2 days as well. Because a lot of people say, well, yeah, but I'm working, I'm tired, and I'm off. What is off, anyways? Like, what does that mean? I think you get to decide what exactly you do during your free time, and you get to decide what do you do during the Saturday and Sunday time. It's not for everybody, because some people work during those days. Some people stay productive and they do a lot of cool things. But anyways, just you get the concept, right? Same for the time in the morning, because for me, like I do have a schedule for myself, kind of like printed out on a paper on my phone, just to remind myself that, hey, I wake up at this time, then I'm doing this. I call it like, for the morning, for example, I call it a morning ritual. I don't like the word routine, because I think routine is kind of like, something that you have to do, but ritual, it kind of, registers in my brain something that I want to do, right? Have to or want to. Two different things, right? We all do some things that we have to do, but hey, it's life, right? But anyways, once you find those gaps, saying, okay, so I wake up at 6, then I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and you see that, you're spending a lot of time just scrolling through social media, watching some nonsense stuff, or you're just, watching TV or whatever the hell you're doing. Start using those gaps start implementing those good habits you've been thinking about. For example, you know that in the morning time you can have those 15 minutes, because you're not going to scroll through social media. Nothing is going to happen there without you. But you're going to start a new habit of doing a little bit of stretches and yoga every single morning for 15 minutes. Don't go crazy, start small. And while you do the stretching or the yoga, and you can find a bunch of videos for free on YouTube, right? You don't have to even purchase anything. You're gonna, listen to a great track of affirmations, you know, or something else, some positive thinking, track, something like that that's gonna set your day, on the positive vibe thing, right? And plus, your subconscious mind always registers, the information you're kind of listening to, if you're in the energy of getting and registering that information with yourself, your brain, right? So just make a list of the things you want to do. Let's say you want to start, okay, so I want to start doing a little bit of yoga. I want to start reading a book. I want to, do affirmations. I want to, start writing a journal with, some gratitudes, whatever. So the way for me, the way I do it is I have a morning ritual. So I wake up. Once I wake up, I'm going to say my daily positive affirmations. Then I'm gonna go do my hygiene, use the bathroom a little bit, like a 5 minute of stretches to my body for my lower back problem, etc., etc. Then after that, I'm gonna meditate. I will visualize, and then I'll do a little bit of stretching. 15-20 minutes of yoga mobility exercises. It's all different every single day. One day it's the legs, the hips, another day it's my lower back, then it's this, that, whatever. While I'm doing my yoga, for example, as I just mentioned, I'm gonna be listening to positive affirmation track off of YouTube, or I have some other apps I'm using. Then I'm gonna say or write down 10 gratitudes that I'm grateful for today. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna send love to 3 people, right? Anybody, your parents, your neighbor, girlfriend, boyfriend, your boss that you hate, anybody, your dog, your cat, your hamster. It's up to you guys. This is my morning ritual. Then I'm gonna do some. I do have some apps on my phone, to for my memory, for my brain functioning. Then study a little bit of Spanish. Some other things. This is my morning ritual, right? And all that can be done like 40 to 45 minutes. I work from home, so I do have the time. As I said, we all have different types of situations, schedules, kids, school, work, etc., etc. But you need to write down and start finding those little gaps and windows. You can check your phone for the time that you're using on social media, on specific apps, and etc. So your iPhone, your Android is giving you that that information as well. Sometimes you'll be amazed how much time you spend watching social media. You need to start doing analytics about your life. Once you see the numbers, it's the same with finances. People saying, well, I cannot save the money. And then once you sit down with the financial advisor, you pull up your statements from the bank and you start, writing down, like breaking everything into the blocks, your mandatory expenses, your eating out, your entertainment, your purchase of Amazon, etc., etc., your BNLPs, buy now, pay later, all the stuff that we're all doing. Sometimes you're like, wow, this is where I spend a lot of money. This is where I don't spend the money, and that's why I cannot save the money, do investment, invest the money, is because I'm just spending all the money on ordering DoorDash or ordering some crap on Amazon every single day. Same concept here. Write down everything on the paper. Just be honest with yourself. Don't make stuff up. You're doing that. You're doing this for yourself. It's not like you're doing it for your company or to get a grade at school. You're doing it for yourself. It's only you and the paper and the truth, right? Write it down, do that little math and see where you got the time, and start implementing those little habits you've been thinking about. Read a book for 10 minutes, learn AI, or that spiritual course you've been thinking about, or something, whatever. We all have something we want to do. Learn a guitar for 10 minutes, And this has been working for me really, really well. And I just wanted to share that because my plan here is to, kind of, I'm practicing a lot of things and I'm trying to get better with the things I'll be offering, but I'm trying to create a course, like an offer where I'll be working one-on-one with, with the person, with an individual, where I'll be your accountability partner, your coach, and I'll be, holding you accountable, where, you'll check in with me. We'll, build that personalized time management for you specifically, because we all have different situations, kids, families, work, this, that, as I said, some people are really busy, some people are not as busy as other people. So, I have to kind of understand your situation in order for us, for me and for you to understand, where you got the time and how we can, start implementing those available blocks of time every single day, every single week, every single month. Because it's better to do, the same thing consistently every single day for 5 minutes or even 3 minutes, whatever, but consistently to create a new, habit, versus doing it once a week for 1 hour. That's not the way it works, and we all have those 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes every single day, if you think about it. You start doing it every single day. You set an alarm on your phone. It's free and it's easy to do, so that a reminder can be sent to you, so make sure you don't forget. If you know that at 7:45 you gotta do those stretches for 15 minutes, and while you listen to track of positive affirmations, or you can just, you can repeat those affirmations, just put some nice background music like a meditation music, and then you create your own affirmations, you repeat them to yourself, etc., etc. There's so many ways and so many things you can do, and then at 7:45 your alarm clock goes off, your reminder, and oh, okay, so it's time for stretching. So create that schedule, look at the gaps, and what I'm trying to do here is, like, create that offer where I will be working one-on-one, where we're going to be sitting down through like a Zoom video call and doing that for you, for Nancy, for Jeff, for anybody else out there. I think it's pretty cool because it's been working for me real well. Because before I was procrastinating, I would just start something and stop something, start something and stop something. Okay, enough. I'm gonna check my schedule. I've, went through all the interesting and different courses about time management, about, self-growth, spirituality, this, that. It's all interconnected at the end of the day. Believe it or not, this is the way I see it, because you can't really grow your energy and forget about your body. You can't really work on your body and forget about your energy, It's all combined together at the end of the day. And once you understand that, things start changing in your life. So I just wanted to share that information, because don't be lazy. Do that. Take a little piece of paper and break it down into the blocks. If you have any questions, or you want to, kind of, I really want to try it out, the offer I'm creating here, as a, a personal coach, like a time management person will be working with you, personally. Reach out to me, leave a comment. Let's work together, because I want to be testing several people. I'll be learning, I'll be getting better, because this is a complete brand new thing to me. I'm in marketing, but like, the self-growth, the time management, the spirituality stuff, all this sits in my mind for years now, because I love it. I've been studying it. I've been doing it myself, and I've done so many tests. I have failed so many times. Now, as of today, I am cutting my weight again, because I've gained weight over this 2 months of period. I got to a really good number. Then I stopped doing my Muay Thai, on consistently, and then I'm coming back to cutting my weight again. It never stops. I failed, I'm gonna start again. I failed, I'm gonna start again. This is the game. But every single time you start, you build that. You feel more confident. You build that strength, and you believe in yourself, more. You respect yourself more. If you fail, it's okay. It's a lesson. You have to just, sit down, talk to yourself or talk to somebody. Try to understand why you're failing. What's stopping you to, do that thing? What's stopping you? Because there's a reason. It's not just because. There is a reason why, right? Just do that thing, guys. You'll be amazed. Sometimes, like, I have talked to some people, and they're like, oh wow, and we're finding like 2 hours free per week. 10 hours, 20 hours. It's crazy. It's insane. Like, even my own schedule, so I would just complain that, hey, I'm busy, I get tired, I'm exhausted. And then I ask myself, like, okay, so what exactly you want to do? Like, at least those little daily things. Okay, so I want to do this, that, my, um, positive vibes, positive habits, my morning rituals. Like, how much time do you need, Roman? It's like, I don't know, for example, 30 minutes a day. Can you break them down into little smaller blocks? Yes, I can. 5 minutes here, 6 minutes here, 8 minutes here, whatever. You know what I mean? And then, like, 5 minutes here and then 6 minutes here, something like that, right? Um, and then you just break it down. You start small, you start easy, and then you just build those habits, and then it just becomes automatic. Because bad habits, good habits, they're still habits. You still do them every day on autopilot. You scroll social media on autopilot without even realizing how much time you waste just by looking at some nonsense stuff. It's one thing when you go there for a specific reason, because you have those specific channels on Instagram or YouTube or something, and you study though, some information. You do meditation or something like that, or you just scroll for no reason. You can scroll and just look at some funny videos or some content just to relax your brain, this and that. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're just doing that a lot and every single day you waste a lot of time, you can take that time and start putting good habits into that time block where you just waste your time on social media or watching Netflix. You can watch Netflix. It doesn't mean you have to do it every day. It doesn't mean you have to do it 4 hours every single day, right? You can watch Netflix 1 hour a day, for example, and then you use those 3 hours to do some other things. Take a walk, do some yoga, go join a club, a fitness club or martial arts, or, go through an online course or combine some things. So many different ways, so many things, guys, especially nowadays with all the available information and content online, all these affordable courses, they're like $10, $20. Come on. You know, all the possible groups and networks and free stuff. You can do yoga and you can do a lot of things at home if you don't have the money to, go and join a club. I mean, great stuff. So let me know if you would like to for us to go through the time management, the thing that I'm talking about here. I'll be excited to do it with somebody. If not, you can do it yourself, and please share some comments as well if that is working out well with you, or maybe you got stuck, maybe you misunderstood something, maybe something is kicking with your procrastination or bad habits is not letting you do it because the brain is messing with us a lot. Talk soon.